Yeah, Europe's further down the rat hole than we are, but we're getting drug into it too. And there's not long to turn this around. Good God. But I realize most of you don't have any depth. All you know is a bunch of anti-Jew terms, and you think that's the whole universe. It's not.
He is absolutely correct in his latest rant on the divide on the right. And here's the thing. Alex Jones and I can interview people who would be on the other side of this issue and still talk with them. But you know where Alex Jones stands. This is entirely reasonable. And I don't know that I've ever seen Mr. Jones. I've seen many versions of him, right? I've seen, obviously now, a much healthier, sober version of him.
Yeah.
I've seen conspiratorial version of him. I've seen huge heart version of him. He genuinely has a big heart. I don't think I've ever seen only adult in the room version of Alex Jones.
Because I worry about you guys. It's not the criticism I care about. It's about you. I will literally post, oh, look, Chernobyl's leaking again. We've got a problem. Or, oh, look. It's like, why are you covering up for Jews? Or, oh, man, this hurricane sure devastated this area. Please donate. Jews. Look, the Muslim Brotherhood is celebrating the murder of all these Jews. Yeah, why you care about them Jews? Well, A, I don't want to kill the Jews. And B, the Muslims want to kill all the Christians too, you dumbasses. So there's a lot of right-winger populace, not a lot, but it's a big minority that literally love Islam. They all kissy-fishy all over the internet, and they have joint symposiums together, and they talk about the, National White Alliance with Islam. You guys are idiots. Absolutely. I'm going to explain to you like this like you're 5 years old. You won't even know what it is, though. you fake nationalists, fake Christian patriots. If I had a glass of water here and a glass of water right here, and one had a couple tablespoons of arsenic in it, and the other had a couple tablespoons of cyanide in it.
Well, they're both bad.
Yum.
Yeah, and I'm like, don't drink the arsenic and don't drink the cyanide. And you're like, why are you covering up for the arsenic? And I'm like, or here's the easier one. There's a box right here, and it's got 5 or 6 black widows in it and 5 or 6 brown recluses.
How is this easier?
Deadly, both can kill you. And I don't want to stick my hand in either box. Can you understand that? Like, I don't want a heart attack, and I also don't want cancer. See, it's like, you understand that, right? Like, I don't want to eat dog shit or cat shit.
There we go. I get it.
Right?
Yeah,
me too.
You can
that
get
one
that in your head?
Yeah, that one drove it home.
But the Muslims are funding a lot of this Israel obsession, that Israel is in total control of everything, including what time you have a bowel movement, to try to take over our populist movement so that we'll stand down and let them take over. No, you can stand up for sovereignty when Israel tries to push us around, and you can do it to the Muslims too, and their ally with the globalist left. Look at the universities, look at Soros, look at it, you idiots. The threat is real. Yeah, Europe's further down the rat hole than we are, but we're getting drug into it too. And there's not long to turn this around. Good God. But I realize most of you don't have any depth. All you know is a bunch of anti-Jew terms, and you think that's the whole universe. It's not.
That is exactly what we would expect you to say. Rabbi Alex Jonestein?
Holy wars.
Nice. I hope the $7,000 was worth it.
He's so right.
He is absolutely correct. And here's the thing. Sometimes, if you want to avoid getting into pissing matches on these things, it is helpful to have a blanket statement that, by the way, is perfectly in line with the idea of MAGA, of conservatism, of America first. How about none of it? How about none of the outside influence? How about no nation building? How about none of the foreign entanglements? How about we stop funding all sides of the war? And I understand the argument, by the way. I understand that people will make the argument that because of the establishment of Israel and because of some displacement, there were a lot of Jewish people on international governing bodies who encouraged borders to be open and the Western world to take in Islamic refugees. I understand people making that point, but then you do have people saying, and by the way, some people do believe this. I want to differentiate between people who I disagree with and people who accuse anyone who doesn't share their opinion of being paid by the Jews. You have some people who then hopscotch and say, see what happened in Australia. Muslims are just the Jews. It has nothing to do with us. Yeah, but did you also hear the imams in Australia saying jihad is the only way to deal with all infidels? So you go from the establishment of Israel, you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and you go from a sort of leftist worldview, and And you hopscotch over what, 9/11, Charlie Hebdo, Nice, Pulse nightclub. I mean, how many do you have to go through? And you hopscotch over the Islamic travel ban. You hopscotch over stronger borders. You hopscotch over one administration treating immigrants differently. Is it perfect? No. Is it enough? No, when you're still allowing people to come in from places like India and Pakistan that still are hotbeds, in some cases, of Islamic radicalists. But to say that because Israel created open borders, immigration policy, Jews, therefore, just look, they're only attacking Jews at Hanukkah. You'd have to simply ignore all of the attacks against Christians, all of the policy differences between the conservative wing and the left wing, and all of the prescriptions in the Quran, as well as all of global history. I don't know if you know this. The Muslims weren't just trying to eradicate Jews. You guys understand that, right? Everyone. So I think Alex's position, isn't this nuts to those who don't follow him? Yeah, look, we shouldn't have any foreign nation. We shouldn't be doing the bidding of any foreign nation. And Islam is a major threat to Western civilization, our way of life. Comment below, what do you think is a greater threat? What are you more concerned with? Influence of the Jews in the United States, which you can be, but I'm saying, what are you more concerned with? Immigrants from Israel, or Jewish immigrants, or immigrants from Syria, Afghanistan, Iraq, the Islamic world?
Yeah.
What do you think is more concerning? What is more corrosive? That's a genuine question. And finally, I would ask you this. In the comment section, can you understand why someone who may disagree with you may hold that position? And can you allow for the fact that maybe they aren't paid by either Israel or Qatar? They just disagree with you. Because that's what I see on the right. It's not that people disagree. It's that there are certain factions of people who accuse everyone who disagrees of being bought and paid for. That's what the left did. Big oil. Oh, you're against socialized medicine? You must be paid by Big Pharma. Remember that was a big one?
Yep. 100%.
Oh, you don't support the anyone who criticizes climate change policy, they're paid for by big oil. I see that exact same thing. And people who use that approach, it's antithetical to America First. It's antithetical to Christian conservatism. That's my opinion.
Yeah, there's a huge difference in being manipulated, which is what they would say, like Jews manipulate politics through influence and they push in our direction, to we want to completely subvert your government and not let it exist at all. And that's what Islam is, and that's what they want. And it's happened for a very long time, and we used to understand that. We used to have a very good read on that, and we're like, no, we don't want that. Now it's like, well, they only hate us because. And I'm like, I don't know that I care about what you say next, because if they hate us, it's not going to change. Do you think tomorrow, if we stop supporting Israel, because that's what they hate us because we support Israel, if we stop supporting them at all, do you think it like rewinds the clock back to some fairy tale time where they don't want to take over the world or subjugate the West? It doesn't matter. It's like, okay, well, fine. I have a threat that I have to deal with.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with all of them.
Okay, so it's APEC. Now do Vlad the Impaler.
It's like, come on.
And you know what? For people who get upset or say, you weren't hard enough, I guarantee you, for all of our disagreements, I could have this conversation with a Nick Fuentes. We would disagree. And I don't think he's ever once said that I'm actually paid for, but he's insinuated, brought to you by, the Republican Party, sort of because I'm more mainstream conservative, he would say. But people like Candace said that, well, I was taking money, implied I was taking money from foreign governments. Guarantee you I could have this conversation with Nick Fuentes. We would not agree, but we could see the other's perspective. We wouldn't agree. I don't think he would say that I'm paid for by AIPAC or the Jews. That's the difference. You can disagree and have a conversation. The way they used to do, George Will, what was that, the McIntyre group on PBS, whatever it was in the morning. They used to have a panel.
I grew up in America. I don't care.
We used to, we used to be able to do that. And that's the big difference. I will tell you, that is not the same as, and Tucker does it too. Oh, well, of course I would say that because these people have AIPAC handlers. Right?
Yeah. You get better at the laugh. It's pretty good.
There's nothing about it to me that is genuine.
No.
I don't know anyone who goes from 0 to
that fast.
Except for the Joker.
Well, if you laugh that impulsively, you might sound like that too.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like he doesn't even know it's happening. His body's surprising his brain.
Yeah, I guess.
And that's a little funny too.
That is funny too.
I
mean, it's a free country.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys can comment below and let's try and actually have some There are areas where civil discussion can take place and disagreements, and there are areas where they can't. For example, if someone is saying abortion up until and including birth, period, you're not going to have a discussion. You don't need to pretend as though you're finding common ground. You don't need to pretend as though, hey, you're on the same plane of morality. I don't think so at all. That's someone who understands what murder is, acknowledges it, and just decides that we want to sacrifice babies at the altar of self anyway. I do think that who has more influence over which we should be concerned? Israel, or the Jewish lobby, or American Jewish lobby, or Islam, Qatar. I do think that's an area where we should be able to have a disagreement and not just try and destroy someone's character. I don't think anyone is handling it well. And just for the record, I said this on Piers Morgan, I think that Islam is a greater threat to the Western way of life. That's my opinion. And I just want us to stop funding all sides of the war. If that means that you believe I'm a paid shill / Nazi, okay. Oh, you're still here, which is a miracle in the age of Instagram and shorts. I think you have some shorts up there. You have an attention span that is longer than that of a fruit gnat. So thank you. I'm glad you probably would like it a lot more if you actually head over and subscribe on Rumble. I'm live there 5 days a week, 11 a.m. Eastern, where free speech is still alive. Go to Rumble. Get off the social media ghetto that is YouTube, with a lot of homosexual activity here on YouTube. There may be some on Rumble, but I haven't seen it.